Yeah, hello Joel.
Hi, Praful.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very great today.
Okay, can you just about
What
able
about
to?
you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. It's a little bit evening here.
Thank you.
Can you
Mhm.
talk about a little bit about yourself before we dive into more discussion?
Okay. I am Joel Vinay Kumar. I am a full stack engineer. I'm currently working in a startup called Osmore, which is like a which is like a combined word of awesome plus more. So we build product enterprise products such as hiring tools and learning tools. And I just graduated from Triple IT and then joined this company.
Okay, okay, that's
So
good.
uh, yeah, so I a lot of the time I do code or I just write some scripts for short films.
Oh, you do that?
I mean, I never gave it to anyone, but I do make notes for myself.
Okay, okay, that's very
I
good.
study other script writers as well.
Oh, that's quite interesting to know.
Yeah.
About the Twindle project, how did you come across the Twindle, and can you explain about what is Twindle is all about?
Yeah. So I've created my Twitter account very long back, but I never actually, concentrated or tried to develop my Twitter account. But lately, I thought, okay, I will follow some developer profiles so that I can be surrounded all by, mentors who can teach me something. Then suddenly there was a tweet from you, and I was really amused by the traction that the tweet got. You said you wanted to mentor about a project wherein the Twitter thread would be converted into file formats such as PDF, EPUB, MOBI, and actually the idea behind it is very cool actually because there is a lot of information flowing and there is no organization. With a tool like this, we can archive all this information somewhere easily and share the info also. And also, I think like this actually remove some clutter, like uh, clutter and what do you call it, distraction as well, because a person need not go to another tweet. They are not hit with Twitter ads or hate comments in the Twitter thread. So yeah, that's the information, like the basic information I know about Twindle.
Okay, so you have done your first PR and second PR, those kind of process?
Yes, I mean, like, not to the code base, but I've added myself to the team. So there is a PR involved in it.
Okay,
I did that kind of PR.
no issue.
Yeah.
Like do you know this onboarding page?
Yes, yes. I found this, and that's how I made my first PR and second PR.
Yeah, because who are new to Twindle, can you talk about this onboarding page? Is it helpful or what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think the documentation, whoever did, they did it very great in graphic manner. So the first thing is to follow all the social handles of Twitter so that you are into the team. And the next team is to enroll yourself through the uh, GitHub issue. Sorry, it's not the issue. It's the teams.md file, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we add a row into the table. And let's say the profile gets verified from the team. I think you are into the team.
Mm-hmm. So for the beginner, how as a beginner, if let's say somebody is joining today, or they'll get confused, or they'll get the information needed to start their working with Twindle.
I think the onboarding part is very much clear. How to get into the team, how to make the first PR, Only part I think which is not clear is the architecture. Sorry, not the architecture exactly, but how to contribute to the code.
Mm-hmm.
As in, yeah. So maybe I don't think what do you call it? Like the assigning part of the tasks. It's it's very new, right? So it's bit unorganized. But I think if we can manage that, it would be much great.
Yes,
We
yes.
need some work in that, I guess,
Yeah.
because let's say there is conversion of the Twitter thread to PDF. Let's say it is done. There is no submission extra needed. We only need to think about handling all the edge cases and corner cases in that same. And I think if it is done there, we can leave it. And what happened is what happening is a lot of people are concentrated on very few tasks, and so some other important tasks are they are lacking attention.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's true. We'll talk about a little bit more about that, like feedback and how we can improve. But you have contributed like this design phase. Can you talk about it a little bit about your design?
Yeah, sure. So I developed this keeping in mind that there are a lot of tools usually we use, right? Like which take a single link and give us some output. Or let's say YouTube DL. You have a YouTube link. You select the file format and it will download the content for you, which is absolutely great. Uh, I used to think that it was very easy, but it is not. And also some pages, right? The design they focus on user behavior, and here what we are trying to do is we are asking the customer to just we are telling that it is very simple. You can just paste the link, select the file type. If you make a one click, then you have the file. And the rest of the content, whatever it is just to guide the user. We kept it very clean, like spacious and all, just to avoid distractions. So there won't be any social icons or something like that, which will distract the user from creating their content instead of following a page or following your newsletter, something like that.
Yes, yes. Do you know there are two phases we have into our project? Like phase one and phase two. Do you have some understanding about what phase one we are planning to deliver and what phase two?
Actually, no, Praful. Would you like to brief it a little bit for me?
Yeah, no problem. The first part, phase one,
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah, we want to launch www.twindle.co. That would be the landing page with the email collection input. So we may not have this convert button initially.
Okay.
So initially just a landing page, talk about what is Twindle about, and it is a open source project, right? My main interest is to, create a platform or community where beginner can start working together and contribute to the open source project. Because not only about the Twindle objective, but I am more interested, like we have free code camp, right?
Yes.
But that is geared towards building tutorials and creating a proper structure and giving some certificate so that people can learn better. That is a very good source. But this Twindle,
Yes.
my main objective is to how we can encourage people to work together. Because if you see in the real world project, most people you have to work with other people.
Yes.
And also, like open source project is also growing attention into the job market and some kind of career prospect. If you contribute to the open source, right, there are several significant benefits to it. like how you can review other people code, how you can collaborate with other people. Those are the very important lesson. I think none of the other place it is, there are so many open source project, but if you are starting out, so you'll be confused like where to start and how to contribute.
Okay.
So this project, right? The idea is because once we build the team, once we build the structure, right? Definitely we get some traction and we can achieve any objective we want. Because mostly the product revolves around team, right? Team is more central. If you can guide them, organize the task, so we can achieve anything.
Yes, yes, true. That's true.
Coming to the phase one, right? Because this phase one, right? We'll create a npm module, npm install Twindle.
Mhm.
So that we'll have some separate option. Like Twindle will give the thread ID and will PDF. So this would be not for generic public, but that is fine. So developer like us who work on that project or who want to be explore the outcome, they can play around. They can install this npm module and can try our all functionality. So this will help us to, because this open source project, right, maintaining the server and creating a server stack, who will manage it, who will maintain it, how who will funding it. So it will lots of complexity will involve. For example, if you create this kind of
Got
feature
it.
in phase two, once we click button, let's say lots of people jump in. So and we may hit the API key limit because we cannot able to mine the all information if let's say some 10,000 people who started using it. So our impression will go bad.
Yes, yes.
So phase one, right? If you use npm module, so we'll give some property file, some we can write some documentation so that they can apply their key and password unique. So let's say you are my customer, you will install and you can just you don't need to set this key, you'll keep it yourself, but you'll keep it in a YAML file or JSON or some property file. So that once you run it, right, then the all the functionality will work in the phase one. And in the phase two, once this is
Okay.
matured, once it is we got some feedback and we'll improve on it because that all product development is a continuous process.
Yes, yes.
So it needs to evolve as we go and we'll have some bugs, we'll have feature requests, somebody need this, that, so we'll improve. So we have to make it phase one correct. After that phase two, the same functionality PDB public we'll try to host into some in the cloud. So I have chosen like we'll go with the AWS serverless. The reason behind it, the serverless we have to know because problem with open source, right? Who will going to manage the server in the project company? We have some dedicated support team and other people who are monitoring the server, scaling up, scaling down. In the open source project, it is a hard challenge like how to give some access to the random people and everybody is busy with their jobs and we have to make some self-healing process that would be very critical.
Yes, correct.
And
So, Praful, just one doubt.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, can you elaborate how we're going to use AWS Lambda? How is it going to handle? I mean, I don't know. So, like, if you can just sum it up in like 2 or 3 points.
See, serverless means like for example, if you purchase a Linux machine, you can go with any service provider. For example, Linode, DigitalOcean, or anywhere you can purchase one Linux machine and deploy the code. But if your code is not getting much traffic, that is all fine. But if you started getting more traffic, right, the architecture will complicate. Then you have to use Docker, Kubernetes, or you have to use load balancer. So you have to do lots of other things to scale up and scale down. And also you can't purchase like 1 gig or little bit more capacity to adjust to the load because the resources will be unused. Then you have to pay hefty bill, thousands of dollars that we can't afford, right?
Yes, yes.
So
Right.
serverless, what it will helpful, like only when the request is served, then only we need to pay the money. Whenever is somebody click the button to convert. All the other time, 24 hour, let's say only 1 hour we peak load we are getting, so we have to only pay the bill for the request. Not we no need to pay the bill for the rest of the 23 hour. That is the main selling point.
Okay, got it.
And
Okay,
also, we
yeah,
no need to
understood.
start the server, no need to stop the server, no need to scale up, no need to scale down, you know. But if you get lots of more load, then serverless also will get expensive. But we'll try to come up with some different option, you know, sponsorship, you know, or kind of some patron pays something to encourage other user to participate, donate, or we'll figure it out something. But that's the main
Okay.
idea about it, so that we have the flexibility of not owning the server. Because if you have Linux power, somebody needs to give the putty access, somebody needs to start server, stop server, somebody needs to take the database backup and all this thing, right? So we just want hassle-free, much more less. And about,
Got it.
yeah,
Understood.
now let us discuss
Yeah.
about like this. Now the project is also right initially because this 2 week back only it started.
Yes, correct.
So, what are the issue you have raised, right? It is completely valid. I am also struggling to how to, you know, organize the code better and how to work together. Because the first week, it's like initial setup, kickoff. So we have created documentation.
Yes.
We have created, you know, GitHub repository, Twitter handle, YouTube channel. So that is the first induction achievement, and within 2 weeks we have achieved significantly, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, like the the reason, like, I'm very interested is also, like, within 2 weeks there were so many people, like more than 50 people who have applied to do their contribution somehow or the other to Twindle, and that's really great, really great.
Yeah, now the next phase also very important because you know creating too much process other thing, right? It is good, but actually it will cause people will get confused. Like I am just thinking like we can have some other repository, but I'm not promoting it or encouraging you to use it. But the final product, right, will host it into I created private. So this also I'm just playing around. So the CLI project will keep the repository of the CLI code, like the PDF generation, EPUB generation, all this thing in future. And this Twindle scripts will
Got it.
come the ad hoc scripts, which is helpful for email capturing, email sending, and some kind of tools what we need. We have some script already. The web will be contain the landing page and version 1, version 2 of it. But if you try to give
Got
so
it.
many options, people will confuse because the intention is very clear. Like we can sacrifice like experienced people, but we cannot sacrifice the beginners. So think about the beginners. People are getting struggling to resolve the merge conflict, to sync the project. They don't know what is fork is about. This is the open source project for the beginners. That is one of the core objective of it.
Understood, Praful. Yeah,
So
got it.
that we given a one project so that it would be cloning easy. So we have not created branches, and we will slowly get into different branches, different other thing. But time will decide. So for example, now to contribute, right, we have created a playground. So now we are a spike stage, writing coding stage. So I am encouraging everyone to write code whatever they like. Like for example, CLI, all the PDF, EPUB related code, and Twindle is the homepage code. So if you see that, few people will come up with a different header design. So if you try to put more guidance, right, first of all, there is nobody fully dedicated who can create the guidance, because to manage maintain I am spending almost every time whenever I want, whenever I'm getting free, right? And creating a proper task, other thing, who will do that? That is a big question. Everybody want to be organized, but the question is who will going to own it and do that.
Got it. So,
And in
like,
the
I think
homepage
we
also,
need
right?
to encourage. Yeah.
So homepage also people are creating. So yesterday meeting we discussed like we'll finalize in a day or two. So next discussion, we are trying to discuss and come up with different solution approach, how we can work together. Instead of creating multiple file, so eventually we'll create one file for the landing page. We'll agree with the one design because we have 6 7 design and different solution. And I created a couple of issues also, and I am talking about like how we can work together. For example, one landing page will have one code base, and CLI also, right? We'll have one project. Just let me show you. See,
Got it.
it would be index.html. One PDF will go to PDF. One EPUB will go to EPUB. One MOBI will go to one MOBI. So that will work in this one piece of the code.
Understood. Understood.
Because
Got
initial
it.
phase, right? I don't know that how to do PDF because there is a spike involved. Personally, I may know that, but it is about team. We have to encourage people to come up with a different solution for one particular problem, and we have to pick one and go after that. But initially, also, if you put more lots of guidance, and who will monitor? First, it is easy to put lots of guidance and lots of strategy. But people to articulate to people, it is very difficult. We have to write lots of
Yes, yes.
documentation, lots of videos. How, see, you and me can come up with lots of tons of ideas, but how many people will watch our videos?
Yes.
Because
Like
there is,
the documentation creation is one challenge, and asking all the contributors to actually go through that and ask them to consume it is another challenge, right?
yes, exactly. Because see, everybody is busy, and see, if I see, don't take it anything wrongly. You are an experienced guy, but still you gone through the onboarding document. You still not very clear what is the expectation is about. Let me explain about. Don't take it
Yeah.
personally. I'm just telling about the actually challenges what the people face, because people are busy. They want to
Yeah.
contribute, they want to help, but they have their own priorities in their life. See, I'll talk about a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Fast PR is about creating the inside the fast PR directory. We have to create the fast file name underscore last file name .md, and there is a clear video and step by step instruction is available. The
Okay.
team changes is in third PR. Okay.
Yes.
No, I'm not trying to say that I'm nitpicking anything, but this is the challenge. Like we created like a very good, clearly documentation. We created video. We created step by step instruction, but still there would be disconnect will happen, and we have to live with the disconnect. We can't fight with the disconnect.
Okay.
That is a challenge. See, if you see here example, walk is step by step. Like this is the folder. This fast PR is about writing that into fast PR. So we have created a wonderful document, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah. So this organization, how to code, and first thing we have to, I can come up with lots of guidelines, but how we can reach to all the people who are really want to know, because it is not literally possible to make everybody call and explain it, right?
Yes, yes.
So do you have any concrete suggestion, like it may not be accurate, but you understood my challenges, right? Hello?
Uh, do you want to share the screen?
Yes, I already said, but that is fine. We can talk a little bit. It is a general discussion. You understood the problem, right, Joel?
Yes, Praful. Yeah. So, I mean, like, there is some time to be spent on the project, that's for sure. And so, I mean, like the onboarding process, right? Actually, it is good. Onboarding process is actually very clear. Only the part where the contribution to code is there, I think there we need to uh, put some effort. And one more suggestion, this is only a suggestion I want to like give. If possible, I'll try to create a mechanism for that. Is to actually track the micro phases or the progress that we are making as a timeline. So let's say the first step is to actually create just a visual landing page, and we added that to some place. And once it is completed, that should be displayed in a timeline, like a timeline view, giving the giving a visual feedback to contributors saying that okay, this feature is already done, so I have to move to next feature. So now, yeah, so these are the remaining features that the project maintainer is looking for contributions. Then we can actually work on this. So I think like it will set a what I think like a strong timeline, I guess. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, yeah, that will help, but a little bit difficult in the sense, right? At this stage, I'm not sure like who is can contribute in which capacity, because all people having day job and I'm not sure like commitment of other people, like how much they will commit. Maybe somebody will commit 1 hour per week and a couple of hours per month. Or somebody which is free and looking for job may contribute a little bit more, and But the timeline view would definitely help. So you can give me some template. I'm happy to. But one more thing, right, Joel? I'm happy to experiment this and
Yeah,
open to idea. You no need to tell me anything. Just rather do it. I'd be happy that if you do something, whichever the way you want to present the information, I encourage you to do that and give it a try.
sure thing. Actually, I'm very new to open source. So what I would do is actually I will try to look into another open source projects. Definitely, like so there are so many big projects who have maintained it through public contribution. So I think we just need to learn or like take some good practices from them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, you take the ownership and study somewhere and any information you want to put. But actually, there is a right balance we have to touch. Like we have to
Correct.
also, we just started, right? So most of the process would be a little bit. To be honest, I have not seen anybody else process. I am not inspired. So whatever I am evolving, whatever I am understanding, so I'm just giving a direction. So definitely there is a scope for improvement. And any suggestion, anything, right? I would suggest you take the ownership on lead and implement it. You don't need to ask me permission, and because lots of time, right? You will think that what I'll think. I won't think anything, but it is like open. If you think something, you just do it. If people will like it, will implement it. If people doesn't like it, it will be go into dustbin. So you have to be, you know, you got it. What I'm trying to say.
Yes, Prof. Yeah, yeah. And also, our like you have a aim to bring in more beginners, right? To let them actually do their first contribution. So yeah, so we won't be like turning the whole wheel. Uh, we'll see like if there some good practices, if that can be implemented, and if that can definitely help our users, then we'll implement that.
Yes, yes, that sounds like a good idea. And also, after the
Yeah.
onboarding step, right? What people should do next? How you would like to contribute, and do you have any suggestion for that? Concrete suggestion, like what you can do that? Because I need some kind of people like you to come up with taking the responsibility and whatever your time. I'm not asking you to dedicate more time what you are planning to, but you guys can take that ownership to make this smooth, even though it is a task if you don't have time, right? But you can create a issue saying that I am thinking about this process after onboarding steps, it is not process, it is not clear, we need this kind of documentation, somebody can create it, then that is also a task. Creating a task itself is a big issue because lots of people are not thinking about in that direction.
Yes, correct, correct.
So how we can make that transition better? Because that is what I am also facing challenge. Do you have any concrete solution for that, or any thought on that? Hello.
Yeah, let's continue. So
Yeah.
uh, what do you think? Like, I'm actually not. I wasn't there since the genesis of this project, right? So I think like there were some people, and I believe like Kenny and the two other people were there.
Yeah, everybody is like you know. There is no
Mhm.
nobody is because they are actively contributing. So I'm talking to them regularly. So anybody is encouraged to take the responsibility and come up with the process. So if I see more
Got
activity
it.
from somebody, so the core committer it is nothing fancy. So only a couple of people has right access. That is not needed. But I encourage everyone to come up with the
Mhm.
process and take responsibility. So you are free to do whatever you like to do, you know. And we have just started. Just one,
Okay.
2 week passed and there is nothing. Because this project I want to continue for long term. So there is nothing just started. It is very, very early stage.
Okay.
So after the
Okay.
onboarding process, right? Can you think through it and create some few issues? Like how we can do that either to encourage other people to create some more documentation or to encourage what we should do after 3 PR, you know.
Yeah, understood, Prakul. So what I'll do is, I think like I should take a look at other projects as well, and see how they're doing. Um, and then actually, by observing some projects, I think we can get to a conclusion like, okay, there may be some standard procedure which we can also follow, and we can also apply the same rule to attract audience and all.
Yeah, give it a shot. Let's see how it is going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I think like uh, same MD file, like there is a onboarding MD.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other for doing the first code contribution?
No, I think there is nothing is like that. So you can create a issue,
Okay,
like
okay.
you can create a issue that like
Yeah, I'll
onboarding
do
is
that.
it uh, anybody create some files or somebody will definitely create it for us because none of the documentation is
Okay,
created by me. I just asking like what people can create, like you know you
okay,
can give a file name and you can come up with some initial thought process like maybe it's a simple question, you know, like after that what should people do if I have a HTML CSS skill and where I should contribute and kind of you can just create a file,
okay.
follow any naming convention you like be consistent and create a issue
Mhm.
that would be better place, you know, so other people start
Okay,
reading through it and start thinking through it, you know.
okay. So there is one app you use, I think, Storybook or something. Sorry, Sketchbook, no,
Sketch notes.
Sketcher, Sketch Notes, yeah. So, is it available for Windows as well?
That is a Chrome browser one. That is I only develop. That is my side project.
Oh,
This
so
screens, whatever I'm building,
actually, I
right?
think it's good. Hmm.
These are the where I build this. This is the application you're talking about, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, this is my side
This looks
project.
good actually. Okay. So how do you use it?
Yeah, there is a link is there. I can share it to you. I have to record one video.
Okay.
It is not very intuitive. Maybe some other day I can try to record it video and give some access to you because it is very little bit confusing beginning.
Oh,
But I'm happy to give it
yeah, that's okay.
access to you so that you can give
Okay,
it a try. It will work in the any
okay,
laptop, desktop, Chrome browser.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, if that is not available, like, don't need to take the stress. I think I'll try to use Figma for this then.
I use Figma because my priority shifted to Twindle, right? So for that, right, I can give, but I have to take some 10-15 minute demo or explain about that. Because if I give
Okay,
the
okay,
URL, it is not very user friendly because of few decisions I made.
okay. No problem. I think like so for now I'll use Figma.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get time, like in weekend or sometime, you can share that to me.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll keep on talking. So overall, like you are excited about the
Sure.
Twindle prospect, and overall you are happy to contribute, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, please be engaged more, even though you are because you are experienced. Lots of people are just starting out, right? We should always try to if you help people to, you also understand, right? People getting some project exposure would definitely help them to getting job because they can learn
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
information from YouTube and every information is free. But handholding, guiding to achieve some goal, working as a team, that will help other people to find their job. So even though one or two people will benefit it, so we'll feel really proud, right? So we change few people their entire family structure. Otherwise, they could have gone to some other direction.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, yeah, yeah.
So the focus is just to
So,
not to achieve this functionality, but we'll achieve the functionality. But once we have built the team, right? Whatever we are doing some very good progress in terms of code, and few people started working on the Twitter API. PDF is done, EPUB is done, landing page is done. You can see that, right? We are doing very good progress within just 2 weeks.
okay.
This is
See,
Twitter.
yeah, like once the the success is a byproduct of organizing your team.
Yeah, exactly. And also take the ownership, even though the best way to do that, right? Create issues. Even though you don't see traction, right? You get a habit into create small, small issues so that engage people because everything you can't do by yourself. The reason I'm putting time into talking to you and recording the video so that I want other people to hear my idea and I'm not be a showstopper or dictatorship. I don't want to give my suggestion or dictatorship. I just don't want to dictate. I just want you to come up with your own ideas and drive it. So you may succeed, you may fail. If you succeed, that is a part of process.
Got it. Yeah.
So you also have to encourage other people. Also think about how effectively you can engage other people to do your task. Then only you will build some lots of leader. This open source project
Yes.
is
Yes.
very good to do real world leadership because if you read any management, all these books, right, all are theoretical aspect. They only talk about the you lead, but there is no practical experience. Practical experience doesn't work like that manner. It is all about driving the people into some objective. It is lots of chaos. We have to struggle hard all the time. You won't get success.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Please create
Got
issues,
it.
okay? I'll see whatever you're coming up process, right? If you find some link also, I got some reference. See, please comment on that, or I want to do this. Comment on that, and keep on lots of issues.
Sure, man. Yeah, definitely.
Okay then. Yeah. Do you have any concluding remarks, or we are good to go?
None. None. I don't have any. Um, just to give a summary, so we need to bring engagement towards this project, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Joel, for your time. Have a good day ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye bye. Hope to see you around. You know. We will have
Sorry.
regular call 5 p.m. It is not compulsory, but whenever you want to join, please free to join. So we'll meet people, know each other better. That is the main objective of the meetings. You'll feel more attached to the project if you attend the meetings, but it is completely optional.
Yeah, I want to attend, but my early sync-up call is at the same time, so there are some overlapping schedules there.
No issue. It is completely optional.
Yeah.
As I said, it is more about developing the relationship more than anything.
Okay.
But I'm recording it session so that you can watch if you want to later.
Sure, sure. So if my sync-up call gets rescheduled, I'll definitely join.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah,
Very nice talking to you, Joel. Have a good day.
yeah, yeah. Me too, me too. Great to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.